Welcome to the Banega Swasth India podcast. Our focus this season is One Health, One Planet, One Future. Our aim is health for all and leaving no one behind, because only a Swasth Bharat can be a Sampann Bharat. I'm Ambika Singh Kama, and today we will be talking about COP26, the 2021 United Nations Climate Change Conference happening in United Kingdom's Glasgow, where India is one of the 190 countries attending. On November 1st, Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the COP26 World Leaders Summit and presented a formal plan on how India will contribute towards climate action. He said,
Friends, क्लाइमेट चेंज पर इस वैश्विक मंथन के बीच मैं भारत की ओर से इस चुनौती से निपटने के लिए 5 अमृत तत्व रखना चाहता हूं, पंचामृत की सौगात देना चाहता हूं। पहला, भारत 2030 तक अपनी नॉन फोसिल एनर्जी कैपेसिटी को 500 गीगावाट तक पहुंचाएगा। दूसरा, भारत 2030 तक अपनी 50% एनर्जी रिक्वायरमेंट्स रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी से पूरी करेगा। तीसरा, भारत अब से लेकर 2030 तक के कुल प्रोजेक्टेड कार्बन एमिशन में 1 बिलियन टन की कमी करेगा। चौथा, 2030 तक भारत अपनी अर्थव्यवस्था की कार्बन इंटेंसिटी को 45% से भी कम करेगा। और पांचवा, वर्ष 2070 तक भारत नेट जीरो का लक्ष्य हासिल करेगा।
The 5 commitments announced by the Prime Minister are: by 2070, we'll achieve the target of net zero carbon emissions, meet 50% energy requirements from renewable energy by 2030, reach its non-fossil energy capacity to 500 gigawatt by 2030, reduce the total projected carbon emissions by 1 billion tons from now to 2030. By 2030, reduce the carbon intensity of its economy to less than 45%. To further understand the implications of climate change, we speak with Dia Mirza, actor and advocate for sustainable development goals. Ms. Mirza is also the Goodwill Ambassador of United Nations Environment Programme.
Climate change is real, and it is evident with the increased frequency and intensity with which we are experiencing forest fires, floods, storms, rising sea levels caused by melting ice caps, droughts, water stress, changing crop yield, habitat degradation, extreme weather phenomena like heat waves and extreme cold. What is also evident is that all of us are impacted by this, and that global warming is causing increased inequalities. The recent 6th IPCC report brought home more starkly the truths we have known for years, that our current state of efforts will not stop global warming. And unless each and every one of us doesn't acknowledge the urgency with which we need to demand climate action and bring changes in our personal choices towards leading more sustainable lives, time is running out. The Sustainable Development Goals highlight the fact that all of our lives are interconnected and interdependent, as are the goals. If we are to achieve any of the 17 goals, it will now only be possible when we ensure Goal 13, climate action, is achieved. We must redouble our efforts and build momentum towards climate action. COVID-19 is another stark reminder that we need to fix our broken relationship with nature and restore the Earth's balance for everyone's good. We must also remind our leaders to limit global heating to 1.5 degrees centigrade, cut carbon pollution, invest in renewable energy, no more coal, no more fossil fuel, invest and support and fund climate action in developing countries, and stop the destruction of nature. And while we continue to question policy and demand change from our leaders and society, we must question our own lifestyle choices. Every action counts, and the power of 7 billion people making responsible choices is undeniable.
Given the scale of the crisis, COP26 assumes a lot of importance, explains Avinash Kumar Chanchal, senior climate campaigner from Greenpeace India.
While most of the governments talk a lot about climate change on global platforms like COP, their actions prove that they are just making empty promises. This needs to change in COP26. That means they need to give clear commitment to phase out the polluting fossil fuel industries and with an immediate halt to all new fossil fuel projects. In the COP26 summit, the developed countries must express solidarity to the global south by increasing the promised $100 billion per year in climate finance to those countries which hardest hit by the climate crisis. Developed countries must also show commitment to fund for the loss and damage to the low-income countries that have been experiencing huge economic losses due to climate breakdown. It is clear that the developed countries have already failed us. The lack of commitment and leadership from the global north is evident. Countries like India should take leadership by taking real climate action and no false solutions. It will be a win-win situation for both the Indian economy and the climate.
So what can be expected from COP26? Sunish Johari, president from Vitamin Angels India, tells us.
As global leaders meet at the Conference of Parties, COP26, in Glasgow to deliberate and decide our action plan, we believe that this could decide our present and future and how we as societies will work towards climate change. Food and nutrition systems have direct connect with climate change, both as a cause and as a consequence. Our existing food system is one of the largest contributors to global greenhouse gas emissions. On the one hand, unsustainable farming practices, use of fertilizers, fossil fuels, food processing, packaging, distribution, all of this directly adds to rising temperatures. On the other hand, rising temperatures cause irregular rainfall, floods, fires, and so on. So just think about a country that is so hugely dependent upon agriculture. The consequences could begin with low agricultural yield and micronutrient quality, such as iron and vitamin A, for example, and could further result in worsening undernutrition. WHO predicts that if we do not change anything, there may be a rise of about 20% in hunger and malnutrition levels because of climate change. We really hope that COP26 results in a rock-solid commitment among all the stakeholders towards reducing levels of undernutrition.
But apart from world leaders playing their part in striking a global deal, what is needed to tackle this existential crisis of climate change is action from each one of us. How can we join this fight against climate change? Here is a checklist of things we all can do to help this planet, which is our only home.
Each and every one of us can contribute towards climate action by 1. Eating mostly plant-based diets and choosing local, seasonal fruits and vegetables. 2. Consuming less and wasting less. The Gandhian principles here are most relevant. Before we purchase anything, why can't we ask ourselves, do I really need this? Is this healthy and safe for the environment? Where is this going to go when I discard it? And chances are, what's healthy for the environment is healthy for you. 3. Grow more indigenous trees. I've personally replaced all material gifts with planting trees in the name of people I would have wanted to give a gift to. And what a wonderful gift trees are. 4. Refuse all single-use plastics and packaging. Carry your own reusable metal water bottle. mug, cutlery, straw, and plate when you're traveling or are on the go. 5. Save energy, water, and fuel. Simple actions like replacing regular light bulbs with energy efficient bulbs, investing in energy efficient gadgets, turning off the mains on appliances that are not in use, turning taps off while soaping, ensuring water tanks are not overflowing by installing water check systems can save a lot of water. Carpooling, avoiding unnecessary travel, using public transportation are again some examples of saving fuel. 6. Make festivities and celebrations waste-free and earth-friendly. Manage your waste at home by segregating and composting and recycling and repairing. 7. Support organizations and individuals that work towards the protection of forests and wildlife. The world and all of our leaders need to build momentum and translate words into definitive climate action. And while we compel our leaders to do so, there's a lot that every one of us can do. And these were some examples.
That's it on the Banega Swasth India podcast this week. Stay tuned for our COP26 special coverage on ndtv.com/SwasthIndia. If you have comments, queries, or suggestions on the topic we discussed today or issues you would like us to cover in future, write to us on bsipodcast@ndtv.com.